Welcome everyone, welcome to another preview. This is MetalCanyon and we will be previewing Pillars of Eternity. Now, a game that you might have or have not heard about. If you're a Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 buff, maybe Icewind Dale as well, then you've probably heard of it. It's being created by Obsidian Entertainment, which comprises of people that have, well, obviously been a part of the Baldur's Gate 1, 2, Icewind Dale, and I believe Fallouts as well, teams. And they have given themselves a mission to create a modern RPG, which would be a spiritual sort of successor to the Baldur's Gate and the Icewind Dale series. Now, this of course means, what does that mean? That it's no hand-holding RPG with great writing, lots of storyline, lots of dialogue, lots of, cool combat, and so on and so forth. Now, it is not going to use the D&D system. It's going to use a system of mechanics of its own, which is, well, strongly influenced by various mechanics like D&D and such. So anyway, let's just start a new character so I can show you what's what, and then I'll probably continue my own character. We're just going to skip this for now. I don't want to give you any spoilers. Well, actually, I will have to give you some spoilers, but not too many. Although, to be honest, where the game is placed right now, because it's still in the beta stages, there aren't really any great spoilers. In fact, you will be able to have companions in the full game, and will be able to recruit them, just like in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and so on, and they will all have their own stories, they will interject in the dialogue and so on and so forth. But over here in the beta, you actually start with a full party, and you're at level 5. So the game just sort of throws you to the wolves at the beginning. So anyway, I just wanted to show you the character creation screen, which is always very interesting in RPG games, well, and others as well. I love creating characters in RPGs just because you can select so many different things. So anyway, you can select a male or a female, doesn't really matter, you can come back to this. And then we have all these new races. Now, the world that Pillars of Eternity is happening in is completely original. It does not take from the Golden Coast. What's it called? The D&D? Never mind. I'm just babbling. So anyway, it's an original IP. So its own world, its own monsters, its own lore. Everything is new, which should be quite interesting. And as we will find out, the writing is up to par, I believe. So anyway, we've got the humans, obviously. We've got the Aumaua, which are really kind of remind me of the avatar of the Na'vi people, probably because of the blue face and maybe slightly broader nose. I'm not entirely sure. Then we have the dwarves, and of course each of these races has a a modifier. For example, the dwarves get more strength, which is might, but they get less dexterity and less constitution. Then we've got the elves, which are obviously very dexterous and perceptive. They actually don't get any minuses. That's interesting. Orlans, which are sort of these smallest of the Kith races. Many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. They're kind of funny. They're like little gremlins or something. And I'm probably already being racist to them, so one of these guys will probably want to bite my balls off. Ugh, never mind. Then we have the godlike. Now, for those of you that have played any of the D&D campaigns, pen and paper and so on and so forth, there's something called the Aasimar race and the Tiefling race. Now, those are, sort of distant descendants of some kind of a powerful, either god or demon or some such. Now, these guys are sort of the same. It says, have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear. Now, I don't know if the lore here actually says that in the distant bloodline, something had to be either a god or a demon or some such, but yeah, they're quite interesting. As you can see, this weird growth on its head. So yeah, interesting races. Now, let's just take these. You can have the death godlike, and this is what I like. This is the sub-race. for everything in the game, you have quite an extensive description and tooltips. For example, the death godlikes are the most distrusted of their kind. Strange growths cover their eyes, or in some cases entire face, giving them a sinister appearance. The growths are transparent for the godlike, but opaque from the outside, so he can see outside perfectly, but people can't see his face, which is weird. And as you can see, they also get different abilities. When death godlike attack an enemy with 15% or less endurance, their damage is increased. Then you have the fire godlike, which have a pretty cool fiery horns. You've got the moon godlike, nature godlike, and so on and so forth. So never mind, let's take a death godlike. Then you got the body type, because the godlike, you know, they come in different shapes and sizes. You can actually select what kind of a shape you want to be. So if you want to be an elf shape, you can be an elf shape. Let's go next. There we go. We've got the male sex and the death godlike. So now we select classes. We've got the barbarian, which is obviously, you know, lots of melee attacks. You've got the starting abilities over here. The cipher, which is something completely new. This is actually what I'm playing with in my own little sort of playthrough, if you wish. Look at the legs. They're sort of like a mentalist of some sort. They attack with a soul whip. They actually have a sword, but it sort of gets enveloped in this mind-bending thingamajig that they strike with, which is called a soul whip, and they regain their power like that. It's quite interesting. They've got a lot of crowd control abilities and such. Then you've got the fighter, of course, you know, heavy armor, heavy weapons, and so on and so forth. The paladin, which is sort of the same like the fighter, but with various, you know, deity powers. Then you've got the ranger, which I believe, yeah, does get an animal companion as well. God, that head. The wizard, the staple, you know, of RPGs. You've got all these nasty spells that you can churn out, but of course can't take much of a beating. The chanter, I believe, is... well, there's a priest. Is it like a cleric? Phrases chants. Oh yeah, the chanters just go around chanting all the time and buffing people and debuffing enemies. I haven't really tried them yet. Then you've got the druid, who can turn into different animals. You've got the spirit shift. All druids have mastered one animalistic form. These forms give the druid strong melee abilities and grant an additional power while the druid is shifted. And of course, they've got powerful spells of their own. You've got the monks, which just punch everything with their fists. They can use weapons, of course, but I believe they're the best with their fists. And it's an interesting take on the monks. The monks usually, in D&D at least, were these, you know, fist-smashing power force that, as they gained levels, they just became more and more difficult to kill. But over here, you actually have to get hit and get wounded to use your abilities. Let me see, where does it say that? No. There we go. As monks are damaged, their pain generates wounds. Wounds can be used to power many of the monks' special abilities, which is quite interesting. So you have to get hit in order to hit back, with special abilities at least. Priests, obviously, you know, buffing, debuffing, healing, stuff like that. And the rogue, of course, a very... sort of standard addition to RPGs. They go in the shadows, they strike from behind. That's what she said, and so on and so forth. Straightforward, but also interesting, you know, pickpocketing and such. Let me try the druid. Why not? Of course, we're not gonna actually stay with this. So then you're selecting your spirit shifts. You know, each class, of course, gets their own stuff. So what do we want to be? A bear, a boar, a cat, stag, or a wolf. Now the interesting thing is, if you've played any of the D&D stuff, you know that, you know, these things are usually per day use, at least until you get very powerful. So you can only use them like, I don't know, 2-3 times per day. But this game actually made it a little more fun, I think, because you can actually use it once per encounter. I'm pretty sure that this will, you know, upgrade as you go. Whoa, bloody hell. Actually showed, that is cool. So yeah, you can use these once per encounter, and I'm pretty sure that that will... oh, I don't know. Maybe it does increase, maybe it doesn't. Ooh, it's a boar. Oh, bloody hell, that's a big guy. Oh man, that's cool. I haven't even checked this yet. Then you've got a stag. Holy crap, that looks cool. And the wolf, of course. Wait, Oh, that's a cat. That's a very nasty looking cat. That looks cool. Right, so that's your class. Then obviously you select your attributes, which is much less annoying than in Baldur's Gate, for example, because you there had to actually roll your maximum points. So what everyone did was either, you know, save the character and then edit it so they can max it out, of course within reason, or they just re-rolled until you get sort of the maximum amount of points available. But this is also nice because this is a completely new IP, so all the classes are a bit different. You get these little stars, which, you know, silver stars are important, and these golden stars are very important for the character. It even says highly recommended for druid, and these are recommended for druid. So, you know, you just set this whatever you like. 18 is the maximum, just like in D&D. Well, starting anyway. But, you know, there you go. Let's have it like that. And then you select the culture. The Adir Empire is currently the largest and most powerful force in this part of the world. It can be a Deadfire Archipelago consisting of the nations, blah, 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 blah. You know, this is your background. It does give you different stats as well, which is quite interesting. And it does give you different starting equipment, which is also cool. Look at this guy. And then you select your, well, okay, I said that was the background, that was sort of where you come from, and this is your background. You can be an aristocrat, explorer, and this also gives you various skills: a laborer, a mystic, merchant, hunter, and drifter. So this is so awesome that you can customize your character like this. And knowing Obsidian Entertainment, this will all affect various dialogue options and how people react to you and so on and so forth. And then we come to the appearance. You know, we've got the primary color. There we go. Looks pretty cool, actually. We've got the secondary color, which is the shoulders. Obviously we have no skin and hair options because we are playing this godlike guy. Also facial hair, none. But you can select a different head. Now, that looks actually pretty cool and sort of worrying. The selections are a little bit limited here as far as these things go, but I'm not too bothered. I think they're going to add more, and even if they don't, I mean, it's not a huge deal. And then, of course, you select your portrait. Now, just like in the Baldur's Gate series, your portrait can look nothing like your character. So this is just, you know, this is just visual. This is for your enjoyment, what you find cool. So I'm going to take this guy because he sort of looks like him. And then you select the voice.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, what is it? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes? Yes?
Yes.
I wish it showed you some more voice selections. I mean, more voice samples from them. But this is fine.
What is it?
You get sort of a
What is it?
idea. I think most people will select the sinister one.
Yes.
Well. Huh?
Yes,
I'm here. Yeah? I'm here.
This voice actor sounds so familiar.
yes.
But
Oh?
see, this is, I'm just trying to show you that you have so many different things you can do. Now, I'm not going, crap, blah. Okay, there we go. I don't want to do this just yet. I want to go back and load my game because I already have, you know, a party together. Actually, I should have done that. But let's continue for now anyway. Now, the options do give you various, well, options. I have selected some slightly larger text. I will show you in the actual options because I like my text in these games to be a little bigger so that it's easier to read. You also have a colorblind mode. You have various options of how combat works and when you want the game to auto-pause, which is really, really nice because the combat in the game is very similar in a way to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, in the sense that it is real-time, but you can pause it whenever you like. There is, you know, there is no limit to how many times you can pause and unpause the game. Now there we go. Yeah, this is my party. This is my guy, which is sort of a godlike fire guy. Not the mystic, the cipher. He's a cipher. And every time we attack, you'll see his sword glowing. So let me just show you the options for a little bit, because I really like this. So many games out there do not give you enough options to customize your game experience. And I think it's very important that if you're playing a game like this, you want to, you want to feel like you're in control. If you don't like combat tooltips, disable them. If you don't like detailed quest updates, disable them. Do you want area of effect highlighting? Do you want quest updates? How fast do you want the scrolling to be? How fast do you want the tooltips? Now, this is really nice. In many of the RPGs, I want the tooltips to be instant, and this gives you the option to do that. Do you want to hover your mouse 2.6 seconds over something? Well, there you go. Or do you want it instant? Then in controls, you've got the various bindings, so this is very nice. Of course, it doesn't commit the cardinal sin of binding something and then having it bound to something else. If you try to bind something which is already bound, it will tell you what it is bound to and if you want to unbind it. So that is very nice. Then you've got the auto pause here, and you can see there's a lot of different options to set it. You can set it all, or you can just set what you want. If somebody, if somebody's health drops below 25%, you can select that. The game will auto pause, so you can do stuff about it. You even have combat time, auto pause at a fixed interval during combat, which is really interesting. And then you can select how many, what the combat time will be. So, for example, every 2 seconds, the game will pause, which is really quite interesting. Extraordinary defense. Auto pause if a party member attacks an enemy whose defense exceeds his or her accuracy by 50 points or more. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Which is, weapon ineffective, pretty much. But weapon ineffective just means that, yeah, their damage reduction is too much. Then you've got all the graphics options. You've got the colorblind mode. You have a solid HUD background. Big heads, which is quite funny. Gives characters heads that are ludicrously disproportionate to their bodies. Thanks, Josh. And there we go, so on and so forth. And of course the sound. So, no. Let's stop babbling and look at the game for a little bit. Now, as you can see, maybe it's not that obvious over here, but the game looks lovely.
Well?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that everything is indeed 3D. Because you've got the lighting effects, the shadows that fall on, on walls and such look 3D. So I believe everything is 3D, but everything is just so nicely rendered and detailed. It gives you really that, if you've played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, it gives you that feeling, oh man, I'm back in that time where everything was so nicely, handcrafted with love and rendered, well, pre-rendered for the game. But of course here we have 3D. Now, unfortunately, I haven't found a way to actually rotate the camera, so I don't think that's actually possible. I think the game will stay like this in an isometric view. You can zoom, excuse me, you can zoom in and out a little bit, but that's about it. But still, it gives you a little bit of an extra view of the place. But let me just go back up. I want to show you just how nice everything can look if you've got vivid colors. So, as I said, everything just looks like it was really crafted with love. There's so many little details, grass and little rocks and water and rivers and this and that. There's really no point in me babbling about it. You'll just have to see it for yourself. There we go. And it's actually raining, which is quite interesting. I mean, look at this place. It just looks really lovely. Let me stop hiding, actually. Come on, guys. Oh.
Yes.
There we go. I can actually loot these. Awakened wood. What the hell is that? This irregular chunk of wood seems to hold a trace of life within it. That's worrying. Yeah, of course, I've killed some undead over here. As you can see, we could go back to the town, and it will be even more obvious over there. But everything really looks lovely. I can't stress that enough. Now, the only complaint I would have is that when you go behind things like this,
I'll take care of it.
And if you have a fight over here, it's a little bit difficult trying to, you know, see where your characters are and where the enemy is. Now, I'm pretty sure they'll do something about that, make it a little easier to see. But yeah, so far that's it. But again, of course, it's just a beta. Now, the game is scheduled to be released this year in March. But yeah, they're probably just doing more polishing and such. So anyway, let's go over the UI, which is very important in any RPG. Of course, over here you've got your party members, which, as I said, the game just started with the party members right now. It doesn't actually follow a storyline just yet. So we've got me, and everyone has endurance and health. You know, I've got a fighter, a priest, rogue, and a wizard here. Now, down here we have all the controls, which is attack, cancel, select all, of course. Then you've got inventory, which is interesting, because it just gives you a really nice little overview of everyone's inventory. Now, in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, that was a little bit clunky. I can't help but, you know, compare this to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, because, first of all, a lot of the team has worked in those games. Secondly, it's sort of spiritual successor, and third, it's a really similar game in a way, and that's not meaning a bad thing. And this is just nice, because over there you had to, you know, switch through characters like this and then drag things around, but over here you can just do this. Brilliant. And when you pick things up, it gives you a green, you know, green slots where these items can actually go, which is really nice. And of course, if you right click on everything, it gives you this nice little parchment with a description of what it does, what the effects are, and, you know, a little description. Now, let's go forward. Let's go to the character sheet. Now, I should have probably done this right at the beginning of the preview, but just to get the big elephant out of the room right away, your question is probably, okay, this is a modern RPG,
yes,
and we know what happens to modern, you know, modern games. The question is it dumbed down, and does it hold your hand? And I think I can say with a resounding no that it does not. This game is bloody brutal. It will kick your ass, at least it did mine. That's why I didn't even go into that underground place further, because it's just nasty. And yeah, it's just, I mean, the complexity is here. Look at this. You've got attributes, you've got might, constitution, dexterity, perception, intellect. You've got all these things that, you know, change how your character works. You've got active effects over here. You've got different skills that you can upgrade. You've got all these abilities. And these are only a few abilities of the wizard over here. Every ability has various, you know, stats. Look at this. And you can just hover over things to see what it actually means. There are big tips and descriptions on what the different things are. So the game actually does a very good job of telling you what things do and how they work. It will take a bit of time to learn everything, of course, because it's quite complex, but it does give you the option to do so. You've got the records for the party and for the personal for this guy. And then on the left you have the various stats like health, endurance, what his damage is, what the accuracy is of all of his attacks, what the damage reductions are for electricity, for cold, for fire, and for piercing. And then the defenses, of course. What are these actually? This is deflection, this is dodge, I believe. This is fortitude, and this is mental defense. So, no, it is not dumbed down, and yeah, it will kick your ass if you let it, or if it catches you off guard. Now there's a journal, of course. You've got all these lovely little quests. I don't know what leads are just yet. The Watcher of Drywood, I have no idea what that means. It's probably a part of the main quest. But for now, as I said, the game just sort of plunges you into a town and lets you do a few quests and such. I've got 2 quests at the moment. It's very nice because it actually, you know, tells you everything a little bit about the quest, and then you can see what you need to do at the moment. Search Dryforn for information about Alice's disappearance. And it says, you know, has not seen blah 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 blah. This is really nice because in many games you only get this. Search Dryford for information about Aelis's disappearance. Okay, where and how? I haven't played the game in 2 weeks. I can't remember what to do. But over here, you just click this little plus. Oh, yes. And you get a little bit of everything that you've learned about it. It's really, really nice. And, of course, we have some tasks, which are not quite quests. They're just sort of, I guess, collection quests, but that would be doing them a disservice, really. So they're sort of side quests that you can do while, you know, you do other stuff. You have it's a rare thing for you to stay anywhere for any length of time. You've passed from town to town, moving on when it suits you. The open road is the closest thing you've had to a home. This is my background that I've chosen. You have the Cyclopedia, which is the bestiary. You know, you can see stats of all the enemies you've fought. Look at these things. And the really cool thing is, as you can see, the lion, for example, has all these stats written in. But the Prugra, or whatever it is, it's interesting that character is actually stopping those lines. We don't know what its endurance, accuracy, and many of the stats are. I believe this is down to lore of the characters, if I'm not... I might be mistaken, of course, but the very cool thing is, when you fight an enemy for the first time, you will just have question marks. You will not know what their abilities are, you will not know, you know, how powerful they are, which is really, really cool. I've defeated 9 of the lions already. So, you know, as you go through the game, you actually learn about the different enemies and such. Combat mechanics, there we go. Everything is explained over here. Everything. It's just not easy, you know. Also, over here, obviously the options, but a stronghold. You do not own the stronghold yet. And this is, of course, implying that there's one stronghold in the game that you can get, which is going to be really interesting. I really like stuff like that. So you know,
of course,
you have your strongholds, and I don't know, you probably have to do some politics or something. Then you have the map, which is very nice, very akin to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. You've got the world map, extremely like Baldur's Gate, which is very nice. We're actually here in Stormwall Gorge. We'll go to the Dryford village, so I can show you how the village looks like. Now, I don't know if this will be the entire map or not, or if there will be more. I cannot give you information about that. And in fact, I don't want to, because that would be spoilers. But suffice to say, these maps are quite big, so, you know, you're not going to run out of content anytime soon if Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are anything to judge by. And then you've got scouting, which basically means that your characters go into the stealth mode.
Well,
and they're trying to avoid detection, but they also can find various hidden objects and such if they're in that mode. And then you have the camp, which is interesting. You camp. It's like resting in D&D, so you replenish your spells and such, but you need to use camping supplies for that. So, obviously, where do we actually... Oh yeah, camping supplies over here. We've got 1. So you do need camping supplies if you want to camp. You can't just, you know, rest and that's it. And then you've got the formations. You can make your own formations, and you can modify them like this. For example, I want the fighter to be here. You know, I want the rogue to be here. It's really nice that you can do this. You can customize this completely to your own liking. So now I'm pretty sure you're already very sick of me babbling on and on about things. Let's just go and do some action. I think I've already been here. Oh no, Dead Adventurer. We've got a scroll of rolling and a copper skate. The skate is the standard currency used in the Ader Empire and areas under their direct control. Like the dry wooden pant, it is a small copper coin. Also, I completely forgot to mention, but the publisher and Games Republic have been very nice to me and have offered to give away 5 keys of the game. So I will be doing a giveaway in the next video. So if you do wish to get into the raffle for the keys, then please do so by commenting below. If you comment below, I will enter you into the raffle. Oh, somebody actually killed this deer over here. So yeah, that is very nice. The game is going to be about, I think, about 50 euros on release. But of course, that is to be still defined. I'll put all the links down into the description. So anyway,
Of course.
as you can see, I just really like this. Ooh.
Quickly and quietly.
I really like the look of everything. What is this? Can I do anything with this? No. I can't. I can pick this up. It's nice. You can go around the world and pick various herbs up and such. Okay, we're at the edge of the map.
As you wish.
So I'm just trying to see. Oh, we can go down there. But first, I would probably like to show you a bit of the... No, actually, let's go down there. See if we can find something to fight. I could actually go into the underground and fight the spiders there. But anything apart from the spiders is really kicking my ass. Now, that is down to the fact that the beta at the moment, as I said, just sort of plunges you straight into the game as a level 5 character with a full party. So, you know, I really don't know the strengths and weaknesses, and I get killed rather quickly in some encounters. But I'm sure that will be a lot different in the final game. Oh yeah, when you have everyone selected, you can also hold down the right mouse button and place them. Everyone like this. Sort of orientate them. Oh, what's this? There's just a lot of water over here. That's odd. Alright. Well, never mind that. Let's go back. Also, if you find things to be going too slowly when you're traveling, you just press D. Well, I bound it to D. And you've got the fast mode active, which is really nice. You know, if you're going through a large area, you can move much faster and then turn it off. Now, let's go to Dryford Village. It will take you 6 hours to complete your journey from Stormwall Gorge to Dryford Village. Let's accept that. Now we're going back to the town where we got some quests. Of course, I didn't complete any quests just yet, so that will be that. But I would just like to show you a little bit of how the writing looks like for now. And then I will probably have to go into that underground area and show you how combat works. Now, it's actually nighttime now that we've arrived. And it's just very, very pretty, this game. If you find Lady Alice, escort her to the Dracogen Inn with all haste. Or was that Dracogen? I don't know, Dracogen.
I'll take care of it.
No, there is still a few bugs, but of course it's a beta, as I've said. For example, when you talk to people like this, it appears and then immediately starts fading out, which is a little too quick sometimes if they say a lot. But anyway... The map, there we go, you know, very much interesting. You've got the inn, the mill, apothecary, the armory, Temple of Bereth. Have I been here before? Yeah, I think I have. So let's go to the inn and talk to some of the folks there. I would just like to give you a taste of the writing. You know, because obviously an RPG like this, it's very important to have good writing. Now, unlike many of the modern games, don't expect to have everything voiced. This is an old school RPG that will, you know, be appealing to many of the hardcore RPG people like me. But you will get a lot of satisfaction from it. Let's talk to Lord Harrant.
Yes. Have you news of Alice?
He twists a silver chain around his wrist, and this was actually recorded. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your daughter.
Alice. Of course.
Describe Lady Alice. She's a striking young woman, bears more resemblance to her mother than to me. She has auburn hair and delicate, well-bred features. She must be, 28 or 29 now? Tell me about her disappearance. We'd stopped in Dryford for a few days. On our 4th evening here, I was making plans to continue our journey. Lady Alice was feeling unwell and went to bed. When I retired a couple of hours later, I found that she had vanished. None of my men had seen her go, and no one at the inn knew where she was. Since then, my people have been combing the village, but we've yet to find a clue, and the locals have been no help. Why did you and Elise come to Dryford? It was merely a stop along the way to Aina's Rest. However, she took ill shortly before our arrival, so it seemed prudent to allow her a few days to recover. What's in Aina's Rest? He frowns as if about to protest, but he gives in with a sigh. Lady Elise has reached an age where it is prudent for her to marry. Given this legacy business, I can't let her fertile years slip by, nor do I want her womb to fester in the presence of so many hollowborn. And then you have, these options to say, I don't have enough survival, so I can't see what that response is. But because I have at least 4 lore, I can say this. It seems there would be more potential suitors in New Helmar or New Yarma. You think I haven't considered that? Arranging a suitable match is difficult. The best prospects for my child lay in Aina's rest. So there you go. Where's the rest of your family? Surely they wouldn't want to miss your daughter's betrothal. Lady Harrand is ill-suited for travel, I'm afraid, and unfortunately, Elise has few other close relatives. My sister and her husband Elise's aunt and uncle, of course, have been visiting Ader these past months. He rubs his knuckles. And as for siblings, Elise has none. My wife has only given birth to Hollowborn, since Elise, that is. So, as you can see, the writing, all of the writing of all of the characters that I've encountered so far has been very interesting, juicy, you even might say,
as you wish.
and sometimes quite witty. So this is a really, really good sign. If you've missed all the juicy text and interesting writing from Baldur's Gate series, or maybe Fallout, the classic Fallout series 1 and 2, then you can be happy to hear that it's back over here. Now, let's go right back to that place so I can show you a little bit of the combat. Now, the combat, I feel, is currently the weakest part of the game. But let me explain why. Not because it would be bad per se, but because it still needs a little bit of polish. So having said that, I think it would be unfair to say that the combat really is bad, so I will take that right back. What I meant to say, again, is that the combat is a little bit unpolished, but because they still have about 2 months to do so, I think that will be sorted out. Now, with unpolished, what I mean is that the sound effects are maybe a little bit tinny, so you don't get a lot of feedback as to what's going on. If my fighter hits something with a sword, I want to hear a clunk or something really powerful, but all you can hear is a like that. And also some of the spells perhaps could use some more powerful sound effects and such. And then we come to the difficulty. A lot of modern games, it's just, I don't know, just hold your hand way too much. It appears like developers think that, if the game will be too difficult, people won't play it, so we have to, create it for the masses. And I don't know, it just takes the fun away from the game. Over here, however, it is very much like Baldur's Gate, because Baldur's Gate did not feel afraid of killing your entire party, and neither does this game. So let me just show you how scouting works. It's very interesting. Now, this guy is scouting, despite the fact that he's a fighter. He's pretty good at scouting for some reason.
Got it.
But if I get too close, there we go. He's getting detected. And when that fills up, I believe it has to fill up. If we get closer, it goes faster. Ooh. It's gone now. That's interesting. But anyway, that's quite an interesting mechanic.
Sure.
So I can use my rogue, for example,
as you wish,
to go around. See if she can get past.
Course.
Look at that. That looks pretty cool. Ooh, she's gonna get detected there. There we go. So she can strike from behind, as rogues often do. Now, let me show you how this works.
What is it?
So I'll be over here. The fighter will be in the front, and we'll kill these spiders.
After them!
Okay, there we go. Now I've set it so that the game pauses when combat starts. Now above everyone's head is this little bar with green and red dots. Now this is the health. You don't know what health they have, and over in the upper left you can see that everything is a question. Damage reduction? No idea. Defenses? No idea. These are ivory spinners that I haven't fought before, but you do know their health. Not the exact health. You do you know their current health, as in, are they barely injured, injured, badly injured, almost dead, and so on and so forth. And that's what these little icons above them represent. So, of course, now we want to start doing stuff. I'm going to put the fighter into defense mode. We get this little glowy effect around here, which means that it will get turned on. I will get the rogue to probably do a blinding strike, a dirty attack that makes the opponent unable to see, inflicts extra damage and blinds the target. So I'm going to do that on this one. With my character, who's going to get his soul whip out, I'm probably going to try and destroy a target's psychic defenses, leaving them dominated by the cipher for the duration. It does use 20 focus, so I'll only have 15 left, but I'm going to try to get this one.
Yes.
With my wizard, I'm probably going to smash them with a fireball. Now, as you can see, this is a little bit bugged. It's sort of blinking. I don't suppose it's supposed to do that. I don't want to hit my fighter, of course. So I'm going to throw it there. And over here, you can see that this guy will do the fireball. He will do this. You know, you get the little spell icons. And my priest will probably do call down a pillar of divine judgment. So this is how you select spells for everyone. You know, he's got the quick items here. He's got his abilities. For the casters, you've got the first level, second level, third level, and so on and so forth spells. And then you just sort of hover over them to see what they do. It's really nice, very quick, and very informative, really, because of the tooltips. So it's very nice, even though I don't know any of the spells, really. You know, the tooltips tell you everything. So let's do this. Now, also the very interesting thing is, if you can see this, let me do something here. Let me do this. Okay, so you can see my icon has changed to that little sort of magic icon. She can cast it all the way over here. But if I move too far, bing, there we go. There's a couple of feet on there, which is really a nice touch. Now, I would like sort of a circle around the character to see exactly what the range is, but this is pretty good as well. So we can see that if I want to cast it over here, she will have to move into the maximum range of the spell. Now, as I said, I will try to do this thingy here. There. Alright, and now I will unpause, and all hell will break loose. Bang! Well, that guy's already dead. That crystal spider is badly injured, and that one is injured. So, oh, he's still casting. There we go. Let's go. And now our rogue is tanking everything. Ooh, they've been affected by something. Now, we can also enlarge this however much we like, so this is really nice. You get all the different stuff. Oh man, I didn't even notice that. If you hover over attacks, it gives you the formula of what it's doing. Oh, that is amazing. It gives you the whole entire formula of what happened on that roll. That is brilliant. That is very cool. But anyway, over here you can see what's happening. She seems to be poisoned. She's sickened, sorry, not poisoned. Our rogue, but that's alright. She's gonna survive. Now, our wizard is going to use some magic missiles. Well, they're not called magic missiles. I just call them that. They're Minolet's minor missiles. So let's summon that. But of course, you can see that they have to wait for the next combat turn, which is in real time, but there's turns anyway. And when his time runs out, he can do it. There we go. Bam. And that was that. Of course, this was very easy, but make no mistake. If I proceed to the next area,
let's keep quiet.
I'm going to get obliterated. Ooh. Ooh, is this a... oh, by God. Crystal Eater. What the hell is that thing? There's something hiding over here. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be really bad. Right, let's go for it. Let's go for it anyway. Knock him down.
Useless.
Okay, so what do? Let's get the wizard to throw another fireball over here. Right there.
Yes.
She will... Pillar of Reflex. She's only got one more level 3 spell. She can do that. Not good. Let's do a level 2 spell. Marks a target for retribution. Fortifies the health of allies in the area of effect. Let's do that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, and people are already quite hurt, so...
Yes?
I should be healing them now, but This rolling flame is quite interesting, but I am going to hit my own people with this. As you can see, it will just go past, so I can't quite do that. Let's do create a lance of pure necrotic energy, causing corrode damage instantly and over time, but he will have to move very close. Let's do it anyway.
Yes.
Alright, we need to heal people. Let's do this. Actually, it's only my fighter. These two are... Oh yeah, they were hit by that thing, whatever it was.
So much for you.
Oh man. Oh bloody hell. Everyone's almost dead. Come on. There we go. We've restored some health now. But they also have endurance, which I'm not entirely sure how it works. We should probably check it in the Cyclopedia. Let's see if I can do anything else. I would like to get control of this guy, but probably won't be able to do so. Well, we've already got 2 deaths. So,
I'm here.
there we go. Try to knock this one down. Very nice. See, that was a proper sound effect.
Well,
Blinding strike on that one, please. These guys can't actually get to us, which would be great if the wizard would be still alive.
yes.
But alas, I cannot do that. Can I actually heal him? I don't think I can. Let's see. Create a long-lasting circle of healing. Stifles detrimental conditions. Creates a zone of divine favor. Oh, probably a good idea for now.
So much for you.
Come on, get them. Taps into subconscious, reducing the speed of all enemies in the area of effect. That is probably quite a good idea. Come on, get him. Nice, that's 1 down. This guy is injured. Wow, I might actually do that if I'm really careful. Probably not.
Yeah?
Do you have a potion of alacrity? Yes, you do. Drink that. So he's faster now, and he will need to get healed right away. Otherwise, he's in a lot of trouble. Now, all the healing spells seem to be area of effect this time around. Which is kind of interesting.
So much for you.
Oh, the big spider is dead. Now, I wonder what happens if you, I really wonder what happens if you win. How do you get these guys up? Do they get up on their own? I don't know. We're doing quite good, actually. Let's see. Fortifies the health. Places a magic seal on the floor that sends enemies sprawling on contact, causing them to become prone. It's quite an interesting one. Do it.
So much for you.
Trap triggered. Look at them. They're on the ground now. Yeah, we're killing them. We're killing them. We're doing this. Actually, I thought we would just die outright. I have to heal a bit now. There we go. Full on health again. So, just like before, it is very important to keep your, you know, to keep interrupting the game.
I'm here.
Because you need to,
Useless.
to tell your people what to do. No, no, fight this one. Come on. Ouch. Knock him down if you can. Oh, that one's almost dead. Ah, crap. My rogue is gone. Okay, finish this one. It's near death.
Yes.
You too. There we go. It's near death. Get this one. And we'll have won. I'm actually surprised. Even though we took a lot of damage in the process. So I wonder, will they just... You feel an unwelcome crawling sensation in your head. A high-pitched ring overwhelms your senses and is accompanied by an angry utterance. Invader! Thief! The voice is alien and fierce, jolting through your mind like lightning. Needles stab at your brain with every syllable, but vanish abruptly along with the words. The ringing in your head is gone. Interesting. Ah,
Yeah?
okay, and these guys get up. He's been maimed. Bloody hell. Ah, and they get their endurance back. What about the health? Oh, I see. This is endurance and that is health on the left. I see. Okay, his health is 1. That's why he was he has the maimed thing. Okay. Interesting.
What is it?
Alright, so, well, I really don't want to make this video too long, but I felt, I do apologize about all the babbling, but I felt like it was important, you know, for a game like this to make a little bit more of a comprehensive preview. And honestly, I am really, really looking forward to this game. As I said, it is not dumbed down, it is complex, it does not hold your hand, it's difficult, and it's, so far, from what I've seen, it's got great writing, lovely, lovely graphics to look at, very sort of old school, but 3D at the same time. It just needs a little bit more polish in the combat area, I feel like, and it's gonna be just bloody amazing. So, hats off to Obsidian Entertainment, but this is gonna be apparently a new classic coming out. So again, we will have a raffle in the next video. If you wish to get a key for the full game, please write down in the comments below. Perhaps write down what you think about the game, you know, what you would find cool, what you would maybe change, blah blah, so on and so forth, because the publishers and the developers are actually watching and listening. So thank you again. This has been MetalCanyon, and we've been previewing the Pillars of Eternity. And I will see you in the next video when we actually choose the winners. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.